Okay, well, that's very purple on screen, isn't it? That shirt, that's probably more purple than expected, but oh well, welcome to my world. Yes, good evening. I'm a little bit early, so, I'm just going to warm up into the evening. Mr. Xenomorph is here. Good evening, Mr. Xenomorph. Very good to have you on board, sir. Very good. Today is brought to you by Dare Coffee, which is then brought to you by more Dare Coffee. And yes, very purple, Murray. I actually just did a recording for one of my movie reviews, and I forgot to take my Hawaiian shirt off. So if it's too leery and bright, I can do that. But for now, I want to stay in theme because you've got purple and white here, and purple and white on my Titan. So we might as well, keep to theme. So yeah, I put far too much thought into that, to be quite honest, I think. But anyway, alrighty. So, how's everybody doing? Please let me know. What is it, Monday? Yes, it is. Of course it's Monday. I'm here. How was your weekend, and how has your Monday started off the week? Cinepedia been good? Yes! My influence is spreading. Mr. Xenomorph has been broken. He has purchased some Skitari to build and to paint. Excellent. This is very good. Any particular color scheme on that one, Mr. Xenomorph, or you're gonna go with a classic red? I saw a really clever black and yellow color scheme, like Hazard. Like good old Hazard symbol color scheme. I thought that was particularly nifty. No. No, I've knocked that over. What's going on? No, I've got the halo effect, shine. No. There we go. Fixed it. Yeah, actually, on the topic of Skitari, hey Joe, could you do us a favour, hon? There's a model I'd like you to grab for me, please. There's a model over on the table. I don't have to get up and move. Yeah, the big grey looking thing in the box. I haven't painted it yet, but I have assembled it, and I want to show you to one of my viewers, the highly valued Mr. Xenomorph. Yes, thank you. It does look like something out of Star Wars, doesn't it? Here you go, Mr. Xenomorph. This is the Skitari Dune Raider. Dune Rider? Dune something. It's the transport. It's your this is pretty much the only transport, I think, that the Skitari get, and it's very neat. It's very cool. And you get a little working front door. And you got dudes in there manning the guns, and another little dude up. Hang on, where is he? Here he is. Another little dude looking at you. That is. I'm just gonna check my focus. Actually, that looks a little less in focus than I'd like. What's going on there? No? Yes? No, it doesn't matter. It's probably only I can notice it. But yeah, these are painfully, to be honest, these are horribly expensive. I managed to get mine on the cheap, which I'm very happy about. If you don't mind second-hand kits, yeah, you can get them on the cheap. But yeah, this is particularly cool. Lots of guns, lots of cool options, and it also can be turned into. Where am I going to put this now? Up here, and it can also be turned into a heavy tank, a heavy choice. And another one I want to paint up on camera is just see what you think of this guy. Look at this. That's a spider. It's a giant, groovily spider beast thing. It's called a venom crawler. It's a chaos. Basically, it's a big ball of meat in armored shell with evil spider face and tentacles and nasty bits and really spiky parts that you will bleed on, as I've discovered. I actually got one of these spikes, these great big spines. Got one of them right up under my thumbnail, and that hurt like fury. But Mr. Spider Boy nearly got thrown across the room at that point. Put him up there as well because I will stab myself again, undoubtedly. But tonight I'll be working on my Titan, and I'm probably going to work on the whale shark as well. Get him under and get the whale shark back underway. Need a better. It's really not that dark. It looks much darker on camera. Or it's just or it's possibly the monitor I'm using. Either way, I'll stop worrying about that stuff because no one else complains. Well, I just need to shut up about that, I think. But before I start on that, I'll show you this other project I've been working on. Now, this is a big project because I want to play. Well, I finally want to play a game again, right? And when I got a battle mat, it's very, very cool. But now I'm building terrain, and I managed. Okay. I've got this from Knights of Dice. You look up Knights of Dice online. They're an Australian company, and they make whoops, bumped the mic again, and they make preform laser cut terrain. It's very simple. This is called the Tabula Rasa series. It's basically just a blank shell, very limited detail that you can go and do whatever you want with. All right. So in this case, you got little ladders you can stick on the sides, and you can take the lid off. I'll just put that under there. There we go. Excuse me. Whale shark. Everyone else, get off. So where's central-ish? All right. So you can take the lid off, and you got a doorway you can move people through. And I've glued this little one. This is a little separate one. This is the 4x4, and I've glued it to the top of the 6x6 roof, which also comes off. Now see, you notice I've got stuck one of the Games Workshop lights on the front from one of the scenery kits. I think that looks very cool. And then on the inside, I've gone and made it a pump house. It's meant to be a pump house. So you've got your busted water pipe out the front, and then you've got your major pipe on the inside. And I've stuck some gubbins and things on the wall, bits and pieces from different leftover sets. I've got a little control panel, and I made a floor plate, and we got another access valve sort of thing. Everyone says it looks like a toilet. I don't know how to fix that because now all I can see is that it looks like a toilet. So this is actually the outhouse, apparently. But anyway, doesn't matter. More floor plates there, and so yeah, you can paint these up, and I intend to spray it all up. And I stuck an exhaust panel on the other side. And you can modify these a lot. You can just go nuts on this stuff. And because it's MDF and it's laser cut, it's real solid. It's very sturdy. And being MDF, it just soaks paint. So when you spray them for base, it just soaks straight in and gives you a nice solid color. And then once the base is on, you can then go and do whatever else. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. And I'm building a lot of them. And now I've gone and actually bought a lot of gone and picked up, and they're quite cheap actually. They're so much cheaper than other terrain products out there, and still very good quality. Easy to build. Just all you need is wood glue. But I've got a whole bunch of ruins, ruined buildings and broken things, and so I'm building up a ruined imperial outpost in the forest. That's my plan, because I'm basing this back on one of my RPG worlds. So that's really kind of exciting. Yeah, and I'm gonna get a whole bunch of busted imperial orc and chaos vehicles and turn them into scenery as well. That's the trickier part, but it will be done. Okay, so all that aside. Can you connect modules? Yes, you can connect modules. You can get a whole, like I said, that building I just showed you. That's 2 separate modules, and then you can get on, and you can and the actual board that they're set on is just a craft placemat board that I pulled out. I picked up from Bunnings for $2. But yeah, you can build all your modules up, and you can make There's another one that's an 8x8 base, so you can put the 8x8 with a 6x6 and the 4x4 on the top. Right, but they also sell little walkways, and they sell bridges and walkways, and you can make yourself a full-on little city, or like, sorry, not city, suburb, or just city block full of these multi-storied buildings, or box design, but it's going to look very cool, and I intend to do that as well. So I'm going to have a ruined section and then a completed section, and some of them get quite big. It's quite exciting. I've ordered some little MDF cell towers and bits and pieces, like it looks like Wi-Fi towers, and all these sorts of things that I can also connect together and turn into a proper looking terrain setup. I'll as I get them finished and as I get new ones, I'll probably show them off on channel. But yeah, Knights of Dice. That's the name of them, and they it's a great little collection of available scenery and bits and pieces. They do 28 mil, they do 16 mil, 6 mil. They go quite a few different scales, sci-fi, modern, historical, fantasy, all that sort of thing. They go all over the place. It's really quite a dangerously interesting site to check out. Anyway, so my accidental advertising spruik for them is complete. So I will commence with some painting. So at last time we were here, I was working on this guy, this Titan, and I think the color scheme is working quite nice. We've got that crosswork pattern going on there. Now I'm just going to give him a bit of a tidy up and then hit it with a wash and then work on the whale shark until that wash is dry. And if it takes too long, I'll get my wonderful wife to hit it with a hairdryer again. Well, use the hairdryer on it, not hit it with a hairdryer. I have to choose my words very carefully because she might just hit it with a hairdryer just because it's funny. Okay, so greys. If I'm going to tidy up, I'm going to need me grey. And then I'm going to need my wash as well. It's mainly just overlap onto the grey, I think, but I'll grab my purple and my white. I think that's a white. I don't think I was using white. I was using a grey sear. I'm going to use white as my dry brush highlight. Yes, and I'll grab my yellow just in case. It is actually the good yellow for once. Alrighty then. So, are we working on any other hobby projects out there at the moment, people? And has anyone else ever worked on scenery for this game, or any other game for that matter? I find scenery to be very, very therapeutic because you get a lot done quickly. Unlike painting little minis, 10 dudes will take forever, whereas the same amount of time you can get a bunch of buildings done. It's really kind of cool. Alrighty. It's been very hard to wait and not just keep painting this model. But, you know, I promised, so I wait. The other actually really good company for MDF tabletop terrain, sci-fi and otherwise, is called TT Company. And tabletop company, and they do some very nice stuff as well. Very nice stuff. It's just for exactly particularly what I was looking for on this one. I went with Knights of Dice. Oh, that's right. Did anyone else get to enjoy a long weekend? Right. Because it was a long weekend for us, both because I work in the city and because Logan had Friday allocated as a long weekend. So we had a very relaxing and highly nerdy weekend. I got a huge amount of scenery started. Oh, good. It was nice. Very good. Glad to hear. You get much any gaming done, Mr. Xenomorph, or just generally pleasant existence sort of weekend? Speaking of gaming, here's Cinder. Are you still playing Dragon Quest? Dragon Quest? Yeah. I think that's the one we were playing. Or have you fallen into the trap of, what is it called? Animal Crossing as well. Hanging out with friends, that's the best option. Well, sometimes it's the best option. Other times you're just tired of people and everyone on the planet, so it's good to hang out by yourself. But no, good to hear you hang out with some friends there. And got some gaming in. That's excellent. Okay, so you switched up to the most recent Dragon Quest. Because you just ran out of care factor for the other one. I understand. Well, there's enough of them then, right? I mean, if you really enjoyed it, you can always go back. I keep meaning to get back into my computer gaming, but I've got so many other things to do. I got editing, and I got recording, and I got, models to paint and everything like that. So I never really, I don't know, just all my opportunities for computer games just seem to go the wayside at the moment. I have so many other things to do. I feel like I'm literally wasting my free time if I just PC game. So bizarre. What I'm doing right now is I'm just tidying up some of the engine area for when I hit it with silver later on. If I hit it with silver. At the moment, I'm enjoying the grey. I'm enjoying the grey undertones on this. So the fact that we've got this nice dark grey with everything else gives me a deeper base color set to work with. So I think that's what I meant to say. Deeper, not base set, color set. It's a very good neutral color to have every other color work off. There you go. I knew I was making sense in there somewhere. I just had to work at it. You did play Animal Crossing when it came out, but not at the moment. Dragon Quest 7 is too long with too many small plot things. And it became draining to play. Yes, some of those games back then become just so involved, it's actually a drain on your mentality and your resources and your time just to play the rotten things. I actually honestly miss games that take forever to play. But then I'll find that I'll run out of... in my head, I love the idea of a 700-hour game, right? Love the idea of an epic quest like that. But in reality, I just don't have the time for that. And I lose track of where I'm up to. I think that's looking pretty tidy. Yeah. The pelvic, or the crotch armor, needs to be cleaned up a bit there before I go ahead. I think I need more purple. We'll do the hard line on the purple. Hey, darling. What? There's a spot where? How big? Okay, Joanna, my darling wife is just putting out that there's a large... It looks like a huntsman? Cool, there's a huntsman on the floor. Where's he going? He's going under your desk. We share desks. Great. Great. Can I whack him? Okay. I'll be right back, everybody. I have to go and hunt spiders. Okay. All right. I'm back. That's great. Honestly, I prefer not to kill spiders that are in the house. I really would prefer just to ignore them because they hunt other bugs and other problems. But at the same time, it was under my wife's desk, which was not good for her, and the chances of it deciding to run up my leg while I'm on live stream was probably very high. As funny as it would have been for everyone else to see that happen, me doing the arachne idiot dance right here, surrounded by fairly expensive equipment, I don't think that would have played out good for me in the long run. Probably got more viewers. Probably ended up on YouTube with like a little clip of that happening. But no, let's avoid that. Okay, it was a fairly big one too. Um, and now I have a splodge stain on the back of one of my notebooks. So I just washed my notebook. So hopefully that'll dry out as well. Shut up, Joe. Yeah, no, you're laughing. I know. Why do I doubt that you're sorry, darling? Why do I doubt that fact? Oh, it's because you're laughing at me. That's why I doubt it. Anyway, yeah, but yeah, I agree, Pidgey. I don't mind them out if they run outside, but when they're inside and they're big, he wasn't looking very well either. Looked kind of sickly, so. Spiders. That would have been very untidy. Okay. Okay. Well, that's looking alrightish. Now, wondering about the face. Do I do a metal part on the snout, do you reckon? Do I go back to grey on the snout area? Or I just do metal grill? I'm kind of feeling I'm liking the metal grill. I like metal grill under the yellow. Yeah. Oh, yes, Mr. Xenomorph. Quick question about your Skitati, sir. Did you get the starter box, or did you pick up a little pack of infantry, or did you go with something exotic to begin with, or what's your overall plan on that one? Okay, metal. It's weird to actually give everyone a decent view. I'd have to paint like, oh, let's get some of that off. And that is far too watered down, isn't it? Look at that. That's almost barely effective at all. But, yeah. Mix that up a little bit better, I think. Ooh, infantry kill team, Skitari kill team. That's pretty neat, actually. They're really quite good at kill team. That OmniSpec scanner that they can get, that is brutal in kill team. It removes their ability to, or basically it removes cover saves from your enemy. So remember that. The OmniSpec scanner, it allows you to ignore or negate their cover saves, which is very unfriendly in a game of kill team. So I totally recommend you do it. And if you can get the long rifle in there, basically the sniper rifle on a stand, that is absolutely ferocious. You combine that with the OmniSpec scanner and just you wipe out players. You wipe out your opponent's forces from across the kill team board. Thoroughly effective. I'm not sure if I'm happy with doing the ears, but it kind of makes sense that the ears would be metal grilled as well. here's a question. What colour for the eyes? I'm thinking red. Red with the yellow. And it'll play off the purple and the white quite well as too, I think. Might get red. So have you constructed them all, Xenomorph, or are you still building them, or are you a build one at a time and then paint, or you build everything in base coat sort of guy? Yeah, the red looks good. Red in the eyes. Quite happy with that. Have to tidy it up, but quite happy with it. Oh, you're building them right now. Awesome. It's hobby night for everybody. This is good. Loving that. Feels like a community moment. Which is what you want to do with this sort of streamy thing. Build a community. I was actually talking with my wife about this when she wanted to know why I do this. And I thought about that for a while. Much to my relief, it wasn't narcissism. That's lovely. Always worried about that, but it's more the fact I just enjoy a community thing, and I miss having the community gaming group. Yeah, yeah. Why should I have all the fun? You're right, Mrs. Enemorph. But I do miss the community feeling of this hobby when I was working at Quantum, and that sort of thing. So this is a way to regain it, actually. Well, that's how it feels anyway to me, and I really, really quite enjoy that. There we go. One noggin. Angry, angry wolf thing. Wolf thing. Giant doggy titan mecha monster. Alrighty. I think most... I just spotted some more to tidy up. I was about to hit it with a wash. But now I must tidy some other bits up. I assume you are, however, using your instructions, Mrs. Animorph. Actually, yeah, the Scutari are particularly interesting because they feel very... they're not quite push fit, but they are very scripted in what you can and cannot fit together in many ways. Oh, are you going the actual Scutari Rangers, or are you going the rad guys with the dome helmets and all the radiation guns? That was the other question I had for you. Alrighty, that is most of this. Ready for wash, I think. Oh, as he says that, he spots another thing he has to fix. Oh, so it's two. Okay, so two infantry squads out of that. You're getting two 5-man teams. Good plan. I've ended up using just 7 of my guys, my Scutari Rangers, because I want the other 3 slots in the transport to be filled up with special characters. Basically, the 3 the three Mechanicus characters from the Blackstone Fortress game. The robot, Daedalus, the tech priest, and X. I think it's X01, the servitor. It's a very themed army. It's probably not going to be very effective at all, but I really like those characters from that game, so it's an excuse to field them, to put them on the field. That's what it is, and I like that. Alright, I'll let that dry a bit. What else can I do while I'm waiting? I can put some green on some grots. That's what I'll do, because I do have little grot bombers. Where's my camera point? There it is. These little guys in the middle there. I'll put some green on me grots. I can come back and work on them a little bit later. They're going to be really annoying to work with because I've just discovered it's not just a big green head, it's actually a tiny little flight cap. Ha! So what I'm actually painting here is big grot noses, because everything else is they're wearing a flight cap, and a little jacket and a little. Oh, this one's just all one head. That's okay. I get to paint a full head on this one. How bizarre. Fiddly little guys. I am wondering if they're going to be releasing more Orc aircraft now that they've because they're releasing a lot more Imperial stuff for the newest version of this game, Wave 2 that's come out. So I'd be very curious to see if they're going to release more Orky aircraft, maybe some really big things like some Skynauts, big old dreadnought types things, and pretty sure Orcs come with a Chinook. The Chinook for Orcs, the Chinook. It's a great big Orky helicopter. And I think at one stage they had dirigibles. Dirigible. Hot air balloon. No, not hot air balloons. Zeppelins. They had heavily armored Zeppelins jetting around the skies in a couple of the old books. So that'd be actually really, really cool to paint up as well. All right, I'm going to hit this with a wash. And then I will do some more work on the whale shark. Okay. You right, hon? Thank you, honey. Okay. Always worry about doing the washes. You never know if you put too much on or too little on. I suppose technically you can't have too much wash, apart unless it gets to the point where you're now wasting wash, and this stuff is expensive. So yeah, it's that fine line. Also comes down to the brush you use, I think. This is a nice big wide. It's a nice big wide brush, and allows for quite a lot of coverage very, very quickly. Which also stops streaks. So it's a technical trick. Again, I pinch that idea of skits. So by using the wide brush coverage, you don't get all the little streakies and irritating things like that going on. Yeah. Probably should have done some extra details on those guns before I did this, but you know what, I'm happy just to come back to the guns later. And I've just remembered I've already hit all these weapons and the main bits with a wash. I'll just do washes in the areas where I've done some touch-ups. That'll be much smarter, much more economical use of a not terribly cheap painting product. And also, black wash is hard to get hold of at the moment. There's a bit of a shortage. Yay, COVID. Paint and stage. Yeah, well, that's one of the tricks with these. Okay, so what Mr. Xenomorph is talking about is the fact that these Mechanica models are very detailed, and they've got these great big trench coats, which is very excellent. They look very, very cool, but it can be quite hard to get to the little details once you've assembled them. So it's rare. I usually assemble everything and then paint afterwards, just because I like to have my model completed. It frustrates me having all these little fiddly bits to paint and then assemble afterwards and then have to go back and repaint and touch up bits and pieces. But at the same time, these models, the Scutari, the Adeptus Mechanicus troops, are phenomenally fiddly with a huge array of detail and accessories, so it can be quite tricky to paint the buggers afterwards. I mean, Daedalus was really hard to paint, and he's just a push together, you know. All these the rest of them are very, they're a full model assembly style thing. All the different arms and legs and bits and pieces. So yeah, you may find it easier to paint them first, Xenomorph. However, at the same time, you then don't have anything you can use for a while. You built one and then you wonder how you're going to get him looking nice. Yeah. If you're doing reds, batch paint, just splash it with red, like red everywhere, red all over it. Then your black wash to pull out your details, dry it off. You can at least put it on the table and identify it then. Then you go back and you paint in your metals and you paint in the other clothes underneath. That's how I do it myself. It at least gives me something playable and immediately on the table that can look good. But then, but there are so many other details. If you're not confident doing that, then it's probably best to paint in steps. Not my method, not my preferred method, but some overly complicated models, definitely the only way to go. Alrighty, this is that's looking relatively good actually. That's pulling a lot of detail out there. Now I'm gonna be irritated by the focus again because I just cannot be happy. Apparently I'm just not happy with things unless I fiddle with them. Now that's at 280. That looks a little better in the detail, I feel. Not so good at the distance, but I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that focus. That feels a little sharper. Okay. Settings complete. Well, there we go. That's the wash. Gonna go and put him down and let him dry off. Back to the whale shark. Alrighty, this whale shark's not untidy. It's just, oof. I just felt myself nudge this open bottle of wash. Oh, that would have been very uncool. Anyway, where was I up to on this guy? I've done the eyes. So happy. Tidied up the face a bit. I think I'm just down to metals. Fixing the metals up. And then a bit of tidy up underneath. Yeah, I'm onto metals. And trying to figure out what sort of colour I'm going to do the cockpit. I don't think the standard blue cockpit's going to work because everything else is blue. I'll have a drink of brain juice and see how we go. Caffeinated brain gravy, go. How you doing over there, Jenna? Nope. Gonna go to bed soon? Okay. Gonna abandon me? Nah. You go to bed when you need to, hun. Well then, if you're getting tired, sweetie, then you should go. Now, I can't find my metal. Oh no. Oh, there it is. Sorry. Leaning out of camera. There we go. What that? This is warp lock bronze. Oh, did I ask how you doing, Silence? I don't think I asked how you doing. How you doing, Silence? Hope you're having a good. Hope you also had a good weekend, and I hope that your week has started very nicely, sir. Sorry, that's his call sign. Yes, Silence. Silence has fallen. That is his call sign, and he probably won't answer because, well, silence. You know. So don't laugh at me, girl. But you've got to be polite to people, right? That's all right. Okay, let's put some more. Warp block bronze. Warp block bronze. Yep, that'll work. Made a mess. No, that's okay. I can recover that. We're really looking forward to getting to the point of dry brushing this one because we've got a lovely selection of blues I can use. It's really going to pull it out nice, I reckon. And then one day I might even get a game of this in and be able to use them. Wouldn't that be novel? Okay. Alrighty. That doesn't look terrible. Oh, nice! A retro turntable. So you set that up this weekend. Very cool. You gotta be happy with that. That's nifty. It's also an excuse to use the word nifty, which I don't get to use often enough. Maximum nift. Okay. Actually, Xenomorph, if you'd like, I can show you my finished Mechanicus character, and just as an idea of what you can do with the details and stuff, if you'd like. I mean, you probably know what you're doing. I mean, there's 10 million things on the internet you can look at, and all the other reference details on the front of the box. You'd like that? Alright. He's just up behind me. I'll grab him. Let's have a look. Can I reach it without knocking everything over? That is the $10 million, probably really annoying question. Please don't fall, please don't fall, please don't fall. Haha! Okay. Okay, here they are. Put this on the keyboard, hope I don't type anything. Ah! Anyway, here we go. This is Daedalus. That is the worst lighting. That's so annoying. Not the worst lighting, obviously, but anyway, it doesn't matter. This is Daedalus. Dark grey trench coat with a light grey kind of emblem on the front. And all of his metal is, and most of his metal is darker again. And we've got red highlights. So pulling out the red highlights in different areas. Okay, let's just move this in a bit There we go. Moving this light in a bit. That's better. There we go. Yeah, see that? So I've got brown leathers, red, some red armor highlights or details, and then a dark grey trench coat, and some lighter metals in there. Because that's the actual color scheme I wanted to go within this. I wanted to do more than just the usual red on everything. Never liked that look. I don't know why. It just kind of bugs me. And he's got blue. I've gone for blue. Blue eye, blue optics. Hope that looks okay. And then hanging around with his robot pal, Stompy Long Robo Buddy. So that's the color scheme I'm going for. All my Mechanicus are going to be this color. Yeah, so that's fun. And then another one I've got is the Kroot, the battle chicken. Yeah, the kill chicken named Grek. For that, this is another Blackstone Fortress character, and then we have the last one, Battle Pope, Ecclesiarchy Priest, rocking around. Yeah. But yeah, so I've decided to go with the dark greys and the reds, but red is as a secondary color for my Mechanicum scheme. I just want to do something a little bit different. I'm just going to try and put these guys over here. Well, they're not going to fall off and break, because that would make me sad. Alright, well, I'm going to leave that light right there. Sorry, hon? You going to go to bed? Alrighty, good night, Jenna. Good night, hon. Joanna says good night to everybody. Sleep well, sweetie. I'll be in soon. Well, by soon I mean in about an hour or so. Hour and 15. Okay. Cinder Pidgey says good night. Alrighty. So, back. Oh, and so does Mr. Xenomorph. Everyone's saying good night, hon. Give us a wave. Yeah, there. Alrighty. So, Veil Shark. Better detail now to move the light. I think. Yeah. Now down to the guns. I think I'm gonna go the dark metal guns again. That seems to be working well for this particular style of vehicle. Now, turns out you can actually buy these Dakar jets, the little tiny versions I was building for, in 40k scale, which is highly tempting. Suitably ridiculous, but highly tempting. Disconnected. Hey, Joe? Let us know if we're back. I think I've disconnected. I think it's all dropped out. Are we back? Are we back yet? Let us know when we're back, someone. Because I'm getting all manner of signal failure and warnings here at the moment. Are we back yet? Someone tell me. Oh, it looks like we're back. Green light again. The internet is giving me green lights, so hopefully people can hear me again. There we go. Good news. Good thing about Windows 10 is it gives you alerts when your programs drop out. Doesn't mean it makes it any easier. It just means things die. What have you missed? Nothing. Me talking to myself. I live. I live. Yeah, just me talking to myself about you know how much I enjoy painting these Orky vehicles and different color schemes, etc., etc. And actually how much I really want to play a game of Warhammer 40k again. Oh, actually, no, I wasn't talking about that before. I'm talking about that now. I'd really like to get another tabletop game in. It's been a long time since I've played. We've now got 9th ed, and I want to give it a go. I have no idea how that's going to play out, but hey, give it a crack. I might be lining up a game with a guy down here called Josh. Because I've got armies of it. Well, you have a kill team. Well, yes, you do have a kill team. And that'd be cool. I could also learn how to play kill team. I got and picked up the rule book and I got the little cards. Never got to play it. I'm probably never going to get to play anything. But one can dream, right? All right. So I think we'll go. Yeah, we'll go the dark metal on the exhaust. Oops, bring it back up. Do dark metal on the exhaust on the side, I think, as well. That'll work. Well, let's see. I've got Imperial Guard. I've got Chaos. And I won't use my Mechanicus, because if you're running Mechanicus, there's not much point in me running Mechanicus. So no? I'll probably go Chaos. Give you something to kill. I could just go Marines, but that's kind of boring. I think I'll use Trader Guard. That sounds like a little bit more fun. The thing I like about using Trader Guard or those slightly more squishy bad guys is that even if I lose badly, well, that's nice and cinematic and I'm meant to lose. And if I win, well, that's just kind of funny. There we go. You forget how Citadel paints are to use. They are okay. I don't mind them, although I am changing over to Valero. As my paints run out, I'm slowly switching over just because I find Valero generally easier to use. I find the pigmentation stronger and a bit more consistent, even on the lighter, technically weaker colors. But no, still paints are good. I enjoy them. You just got to thin them a little bit, not too much. I like to have about enough to do. I really honestly don't want to do any more than one coat on anything. I'm that guy that uses splodgy paint, as they say. But at the same time, you know, I have success with that. But then again, I do water them down so they're not super thick. I don't like painting with glue. But they're generally okay. It's like any other painting style. You darker colors first, then the light ones over the top. Um, you just got to be prepared to go back and do a lot of corrections, unfortunately. That is a frustrating fact of life on that one. Because there is always splash and back and forwards, back and forwards, back and forwards as you correct things. Unless you're incredibly got phenomenally steady hands, you will get splash. You will get what else do they call it? They call it bleed. Where your colours go everywhere. I don't think I've actually answered your question there. I don't even know if there was a question that you asked. You're just saying that you don't know how, you forgot how to use them. They're, look, they're good. You just got to water them down, thin them out, find the consistency that you like, you know, and go from there. Don't even know why I'm telling you all that. It's not like I'm exactly a guru on this, but anyway, whatever. It's a guy thing. People ask questions. We've got to fix it. We've got to give answers. Anyhow, working on the whoop, working on the silver on the other side. Then I can hit it with the contrast paint to bring out that nice shiny blue. Which, thank you for that. I think it might have been you, Pidgey, that encouraged me to do that. Thank you for that. That does look very good. Okay. There we go. Chinese silver. Now do it on the underside as well. And then I've got to figure. Then I've got to do some tidy up and figure out the bombs. I mean, I kind of like the bombs as the green. You know, they all blend into the underside. I would like to personalize them a little bit, but at the same time, they're so small and fiddly. I think I might save the personalization for the actual individual little flying bombs. I think I might do that actually. It's actually funny. I was talking online, and it's amazing how many people collect all these the Aeronauticus game and all the minis just for the minis. There are more people that collect them just to paint them and shelve them than there are that actually play the game. Thankfully, that means they still buy them. So hopefully, this game isn't going away anytime soon. I want a serious armada of different vehicles on my shelves personally. That would make me happy. But we'll just see what we can get. You never really know with GW. They might run with a one of these little sub games like Aeronauticus for years, or it might go for 1 or 2 years, 1 or 2 expansions, and then just get ditched. You never can tell. I mean, even if it's made a mess. Even if it's successful, they may still get ditched. They're really hard to predict. I suppose it comes down to production levels, like how much does it cost to make? That's probably what it all comes down to. I mean, that's what most businesses run things down to, aren't they? Okay. And now, you're totally not that person. You totally are that person. You'll collect them because they're cool and never play the game. That's what I end up doing. Because okay, shh. Secret, everybody. Cinder Pidgey totally buys models and plays the game thereafter. Absolutely doesn't only collect crap to paint and shelve. There you go. Your secret is safe with us, Cinder. Alrighty. Coming along, okay. Yep, getting shinier. Getting shinier and shinier. Happiness is a shiny whale shark. Actually, no, happiness is being able to say that sentence in context, and it almost makes sense. That's kind of funny. Okay, so Yeah, got some tidy up to do on this, but we're getting towards the point of hitting it with a wash, I believe. There's a couple more details I want to pull out on the top here with my dark. The happiest shark. It is indeed the happiest of sharks. Getting closer to, yeah, like I said, getting closer to wash time. Just want to pull a couple more details out on the top. Now, yeah, I was about to say character. I'm going to keep it a character. A lot of this character, because it really is one now, a lot of the details are going to come when you hit it with a dry brush later. That's going to be the cool part. So it's going to be the annoying part because I'm going to lose those eyes when I dry brush. It's really hard to be specific, but you should still be able to see the outline of where they were, so I'll be able to go back and correct them. Alright. Now for the tail gun. Boop, boop, boop. Bloop. Alright. Okay. Not looking too bad. Yeah, now it's just tidy up and hitting it, and then the contrast paint. Now where is the paint I use for that base color? It's not that one. It's not Nagaroth Night. It is not that one either. Maybe this one. Nope. There we are. Cantor Blue is the color I was using. So tidy up time. Nice and quick. Don't want to spend too much time fiddling about. Sorry, bring it back up here. Not that anyone can see anything anyway. Stupid dark. Stupid poor lighting. But see, you can't see the tidy up I need to do, but it's there. There's enough of it there that's irritating me, so. Okay. So, on the topic of entertainment and film, who's watched what recently? What was good and what was definitely not so good? Who's watched a movie this last week that's made you stop and think, do I need to rethink my entertainment choices? Has that been an event for anyone? It does happen sometimes. Yeah, right, that's not too bad. Now, where's that ugly ass green? That's the official title of it. I've got two ugly ass greens. I think it's this one. Yes. Oh! Yeah, I've been hearing good things about that. It's a little. Is it Adult Swim style humor, or is it more Rick and Morty style, or is it actually? Is it its own thing? Does it have a comparison point really at all? Because I've heard some very mixed reviews. Some people are angry that they did it at all, because it's apparently taking a hard swing at all things Star Trek. Which, if you can't handle a bit of parody every now and then, you're probably taking your own franchise a bit too seriously. Or your favourite thing, anyway. And then you've got others that think it's the best thing they've ever seen. It's one of the, it's an excellent addition to the whole Star Wars universe. Star Trek universe. Oof. and and it sets the standard for animated Star Trek humor, which I didn't think they needed a standard to be set, but all right, cool. Who can argue? Rick and Morty, and you love Star Trek, but it's yeah, you're right. It's got so much room to give itself a bit of crap, and you know the Orville proved that they can make fun of it and not ruin it. Now, yeah, Orville isn't actually Star Trek, but at the same time, it so almost is. So I think Orville is an excellent example of space of that whole comedy thing within that universe. I don't love all of Orville, but then again, I don't like all of Star Wars, and I'm a huge fan of Star Wars. So you know, whatever. So yeah, Orville is kind of amazing, isn't it? It's kind of amazing. It it doesn't fall into the standard trap of Seth MacFarlane's ego either, which I was absolutely stunned by. I did not expect him to not make it all about himself. You know, like a MacFarlane show is usually only him. He is the only key character. But so below decks is a little bit is Rick and Morty humor. That would actually, I imagine, work really nicely in the Star Trek universe. Because it's got to stay smart. You can't get dumb humor or too dumb in a Star Trek show because it just doesn't sell. Like the funniest moments in the new Star Trek movies are where they're keeping smart with their humor, you know. But every now and then they get a little dumb, they get a little lowbrow humor, and it just doesn't sell. It just doesn't fit the universe as much. Okay. It does as all the characters are low-level red shirt types. Okay, that's funny. That's going to get funny and tragically funny. Yeah, now I have to check it out. Absolutely. Gotta check it out. Alrighty. The underside's looking a little neater and tidier. Actually, speaking of Star Trek, I heard mainly online, of course, because that's where all the truth is held. I heard that, man, that camera angle's bad. Every time I lean forward, you can't see me. Anyway, have to work on that too. Anyway, I've heard that it looks like that from the Picard show, which apparently is either okay or terrible. Depends who you ask. No one says it's great, which is a shame. Apparently from the Picard show that the Seven of Nine is most likely to get her own spin-off show, which I think is pretty awesome. That sounds very good to me. Some sort of bounty space ranger type show, which you know I Seven of Nine getting around to space Chuck Norris. I can see that. I approve of this idea. Has anyone seen the Picard show? Is it as just okay as people say? Or is it just the internet having a sook again about the fact that they're daring to do things, ow, and try something a little different? I do notice the internet gets particularly upset when people try something new with an established property. I kind of understand that they do that because it's a beloved and established property that people fall in love with over many many years. At the same time, dude, every now and then you gotta experiment and try something. Oh, okay, here we go. Let's see. You would like to see that. They left most of her plot untold in Picard. Of course they did. It's an excellent character, and they just left her out. Silence is the Trekkie. Yep, it's okay to terrible. That seems, yeah, that is the most common assessment. It's okay to terrible, which is a shame. I mean, it's Sir Patrick Stewart. It's Picard. It really shouldn't be okay to terrible. It should be okay to great. You know. Oh yeah, and Xenomorph, you agree. It has its moments, but it doesn't totally get where it wants to. Gets lost on its own storyline, huh? I've also heard that. I've heard people saying that the storylines would be nice if they were either coherent or concise. Like, is it or what is it? It's mis. I've heard the phrase misfired long format storytelling. That's the phrase I heard, and I thought that's a little harsh. But would you agree? Mass Effect did the Mass Effect storyline was better. The computer game. Okay, that's a little rough. That's a little rough. I mean, actually, the storyline was really good, but it shouldn't be unfavorably compared to a computer game storyline, you know? Okay. Wow. Wasn't expecting that comment, I can tell you that. That is not what I was predicting to hear. I did really enjoy this Mass Effect storyline, to be honest. I really quite enjoyed that. It's a good game. I haven't even finished number 2 yet. I really should get back and do that. I add that to the list of all the other things I really should get back and do. Okay, long form misfire. There's a good roundup of it. That's a shame. That's a real shame. I'd love to say I'm surprised. Sadly, I'm not. There's a remaster of the Mass Effect trilogy coming out. Alright, well, that's interesting. That's some good news, I think. Hang on, remaster or remake? That's important. I don't mind a bit of remaking when they do a remastering. That's just going to happen. But if it's a total reboot, remake, reset, not so keen. Now I'm being one of those people that doesn't like change. How about that? Kindly, but kind of both, mostly remaster. All right. Well, it's automatically got my money the moment that comes out. I can get quite reasonably excited about that now that I think about it. Actually, that could be a heck of a lot of fun. Actually, little from column A, little from column B. Yeah, all right. Hmm. I choose to be excited about this. In fact, I'm going to choose to be optimistic about this as well. Probably feel a bit silly of me, but I'm gonna let myself get excited and optimistic about it. Now I'm running through my head all my favorite groupings. My preferred team was always Garrus. And what was that chick that had the full face helm and she could only breathe in certain environments? Oh, what was her name? It's gone. Tali! Tali, yes! Garrison Tali. I love that combo. That was really, really cool. That was my favorite combo. Because Garrett, I'll be running around on the higher levels and I wouldn't even see the targets. And all of a sudden there's a bang and there's a thump and Garrus going target down or something like that. You know, and there's a dead dude that I didn't even see. It's like, alright, cool. Or I'll be running around doing my thing, getting distracted by something, and there'll be a resounding boom, and Tali and her shotgun have just wiped out something. Tali, oh, you like Tali and Rex? Rex was kind of cool. I didn't mind Rex. I preferred Garrus. Not sure why. Actually, that human chick, the racist, the space racist, that you could actually talk around to being a lot less racist eventually. Her and Rex were an amazing combo on the field. You know, her and Rex are fantastic, especially when they're talking crap to each other. But they were just a brutal combo at times. Good value, those two. Garrison Grunt. See, I never got to play through far enough to meet Grunt. Ashley. That's the other one, Ashley. Yeah, I never played through far enough to meet Grunt. If I remember correctly, I got to the very end of the first one, had major file corruption, had to restart, got cranky with it, and never got back to it again. So Murray has yet another gaming project to do, which is to replay Mass Effect. What a task! What a horrible chore! Actually, it's been so long since I played. It's probably going to feel like a new game too. So I think that's a win. All right, people. I need a different color scheme for the canopy. Can't go blue. Can't go blue on that canopy. That ain't gonna work this time. Because everything else is bloody blue. Bloody blue. Bloody blue would technically be purple. But orange? Maybe. Orange is so standout though. Red's a bit cliche. Could try orange. Purple's too blue, if you know what I mean. It's too close to the rest of that particular color grouping. It just won't stand out. You won't notice that there's purple there. Contrast blue, contrast blue. I think I pick up some more contrast paints, more contrast colors, because it's so useful for metallics. It's probably one of the easiest ways to get an even gold color, actually. If I just go and use my metallic, like use my silver and then hit it with a yellow contrast afterwards, or a rich yellow contrast, that might bring out a gold effect really easily. That'd be cool, because at the moment my gold metallic paints, particularly gold, always dies. It's just the worst color to try and keep in bottle and then apply evenly. It just sucks. It's a highly frustrating color, to be honest. Makes my face grumpy. Metallic blue. Look at the metallic blue. Looks so good. Oh, here we go. Orange. Orange has your vote. Okay. I don't have a yellow contrast. Don't have a yellow contrast, Cinder. Otherwise, I probably would. Yellow and bright green would definitely pop, but I don't know if it's going to sell as an orky visor color. It's sort of more marine. If I was going to do blue with green, that feels a little bit more Eldar or Tau, if you know what I mean. Actually, yeah, keeping yellow, yeah, because I want to get the yellow, get the Tau aircraft, yellow visors on the yellow canopies on the Tau. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. Now I think about it, I'm going to credit. Yes, yes, absolutely. Thank you for that. A brilliant idea, Mr. Xenomorph. Was Xenomorph? Yes, it was. Yellow or green, but probably yellow. Or maybe green for the Tau. Yes. So blue, 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 blue. So much blue. Happy with that. I'm trying to figure out if I should do blue tail engines. I don't think I will. I think I'll keep the blue up here. Make it stand out. A bit of a standout feature. Underside is looking pretty solid. Alright, I'll let that dry and then I'll hit it with a wash. And we're next step. Alright, I'll try that orange now. You know what? I'll try the orange now. Because why not? Oh, I just got green. I just got orange lighted on my upload speed, so there may have just been a fairly serious lag just then. Was there a noticeable dropout just then, people? Let us know. Okay, just be aware that it's flickering. My little alert is going off, so we may crash out again. And I'll be patient. Please come back. What was it doing? Orange, orange, orange. Okay, do we go? That's red. All right. Didn't see shit. Thank you very much, Xenomorph. Didn't see nothing. Good. Let's try. Don't know if this is going to be a good plan or not. Orange canopy. Doesn't look terrible. So far, Cinder retains her record for good ideas. I think that's going to look really neat. Ha ha! Look at that, coming along. Yeah. Look at that. It's almost as if Cinder's got some sort of training or education in design theory. How about that? He says with extreme sarcasm and relief that Cinder can't actually get hold of him at this point. And hopefully by the time she comes back down to visit Brisbane again, she'll have forgotten. That's gonna look really, really cool. Told you it was gonna work, Cinder. Didn't I say? I said, hey Cinder, don't worry, the orange is gonna be great. You all heard me. It's not like we have a recording of me being a doubter or anything. Oh wait. Okay. Oh, and by the way, Mr. Xenomorph, your hint from last time of cheese as to who you are? Cheese? That's a hint? It did nothing for me. And everyone else that does know who you are is refusing to tell me who you are. So the mystery is still entertaining. I just wish I could figure it out sometimes. Okay, we'll put that there, put that bit there. Bit more orange. Oh, it gets very blotchy. There we go. That's looking pretty darn good. Kind of. First word cheese, great. Cheese what? Cheese wheel? Sandwich. Seth? Maybe? Maybe? Cheese sandwich! How you doing, man? You're right. I got it. I got it. Unreal. That's some funny stuff. Cheese sandwich. That has been reused a few times in a couple of recent games, actually. Oh, dearie, dearie me. Okay, Cinder. Cheese sandwich. Mr. Xenomorph was in a game with me. We ran a fairly long, went for like nearly a year D&D game, and he played this goblin, this legendary goblin, who, by the way, is still a king, but may have been actually downgraded yet upgraded to Goblin Lord of an actual recognized settlement in my Imperial game world. Um, Basically, it turns out being a lord is much more economical for tax reasons than being a king, especially in an empire that is very resistant to people setting up their personal kingdoms within their borders. Anyway, side story. But Mr. Xenomorph's character, Goblin, basically mastered Goblin wild magic by having strong enough belief in any particular word, and the word and he just needed a catchphrase that all the other goblins could get hold of, and he came up with cheese sandwich. And so that was power word cheese sandwich. With a great cry of cheese sandwich and enough goblins supporting him, he could accidentally do things like, teleport himself into a red dragon's lair, teleport himself around the world, and enough other people believing in it. See, that's the trick with goblin magic and orky magic in general. You gotta believe it. But enough people believing in it, they could also use the words, the power word cheese sandwich, and also teleport themselves. Now, it could have been any word, and a self-respecting wizard would come up with something a bit more dramatic. But Yongo was hungry at the time, and most goblins like cheese, and sandwiches are the best inventions they've ever encountered. So it's a very potent power word amongst the goblin kind. Speaking of potent and powerful, look at that orange. That is looking pretty darn good. That's going to look really nice when it's all highlighted and lit up. Oh, I missed one spot. So there, that is the story of the cheese sandwich. Unbelievable. And you've just been sitting on that for ages, haven't you, Xenomorph? Just waiting. Yeah. Power word cheese sandwich. Brilliant. Brilliant. The really weird thing is I've been talking to people and they've been mentioned you, Zeno, and I've been, oh yeah, I should catch up with him sometimes. I wonder what he's doing. Oh, I should try and get in contact. Meanwhile, nearly every bloody Monday. That's funny. Ah, okay. I think that that will do for that. Canopy is, where are we? Canopy's looking good. I wonder. Let me try something. Time to test a theory. If I had an additional light set up, would it look better again? A little bit. Yeah, I think we'll go get that ring light set up some stage. Oh well. Alrighty. So there we have the whale shark ready for wash. This is the whale shark completed for pre-wash. I'm just going to let it dry a bit so when I hit it with the wash it doesn't strip everything. Which is extremely frustrating when you accidentally do that. Back to this guy. Back to Wolf Boy. Alrighty. The wash on this has pulled out some details. That looks very nice. I'm rather pleased with that. Now the question is, how do I want to dry brush this sucker? I could just go back over with a direct light grey over everything and then come back and touch it up, which, will be effective, look weathered and that sort of thing, but also would lose the impact of the purple, I believe. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to go back in and brush in some purple, and then brush in a much lighter purple over the top again. And just break my own, and just kind of, oh, hang on, let me think. I got to do it in stages and levels, otherwise it isn't actually going to work as well as I'd like. If I dry, because what I'm thinking is if I dry brush, I do the grey everywhere, the light grey over the dark grey, I'm going to have overflow, right? I have overflow onto, I'm going to miss, and I'm going to get on the blue, on the purple, and the white. It won't matter on the white as much. It is going to matter on the purple. But then if I dry brush my light purple over the dark purple, and I get overflow onto the grey, it's going to really stand out badly. Alright, I'll start with the purple. I'll start with the purple anyway. And I won't be able to use my normal dry brush though. I'm going to have to use a much more specific brush. This is when I wish Skits was online, because then I could quiz her brain on that one, but oh well. Here we go. Oh, RSI is a thing. Oh. Oh. You couldn't hear that, but my back just went off like bubble wrap. That felt very nice. Alright. Let's give this a quick go. Yeah, as suspected, the lighter purple is going to make very little difference other than to give it a bit more, a softer gradient when I do the other highlighting. Takes the darkness out, gives it a bit of a lift. It's not going to be as like harsh. I don't think you'd see any difference in this lighting on that. I can barely see any difference when I'm doing it. I saw some really good do-it-yourself DIY LED lighting rigs that you can build for particularly for streaming. I have to look into that. That could be very cool fun. Anything that improves the viewer experience is good for you and therefore good for me. Alrighty. Okay. Yeah, it's looking richer. I like that. I've always loved dry brushing, especially even if you're only using light variations. It can just make the colors look richer, give you a depth of color that you didn't have before. And it may not look much at first, but as you go along and as you build up the layers, it really starts to look good. Need lots of layers, like an ogre. Am I still running pen and paper RPGs? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Still running in that same world too. That world has progressed and changed and running different games, but in the same world, Zeno, and all over the place actually. It's it's particularly good fun. I love it, pen and paper. It's one of my absolute preferred. Although at the moment there's a lot more online because COVID, yay, ruins everything. So it's a bit more online now, a bit more Roll20 and stuff like that. But technically, still running pen and paper RPGs. Love them. You still playing in them? Sorry, I'm just having a look at over here and slightly different lighting. Yeah, yeah, it's actually coming along. That purple is stronger and a bit richer. I'm not sure if you'll be able to tell, but it is looking, I think, really quite nice. I've actually had a look at the new Shadowrun system. Looks good. Looks wicked complicated as usual. They seem to have streamlined some things and fixed a couple of others, but then still almost guaranteed to confuse living hell out of people in others. So it's a miss and miss. Better than when we played. I don't know if it's better than when we played, Cinder. I think it's about as it's okay. It's better in some areas, but it's not as good. I mean, correction. It's better in some areas, but it's just confusing in new and different areas now. I don't think Shadowrun will ever be a simple game to play. You know, it's just one of those RPG games that's got a much higher level of complexity than I honestly think it should have. But then again, it's very hard to differentiate and get the concepts of Shadowrun across in any other way than they do it, unless they chummer, unless they go and change the D6 system. If they changed out of D6, I think it'll work a lot better. Correction. If they change out of D6, it could theoretically work a lot better. But how you translate the dice pool system to something else, how do you keep it and not have it, how do you keep it individual and different and not just be like everyone else? That's the hard part about Shadowrun. And Shadowrun is such a unique world setting that you really don't want to go and wreck it, you know? I mean, really, if you're not playing Shadowrun for the way it is, you're just playing Modern D20. And Modern D20 is still a good system, but it's just D20. It's the Pathfinder style game, just in the modern world, which can be very successful, I might add. That can be a very, very good game. But Shadowrun's got to have a real feeling about it, you know? You don't want to lose that feeling. Now, Mr. Xenomorph, what did you say? I'm playing in one run by Swoosh. Hey! And then you also run a game in the Savage World Rippers setting. Haven't seen that one. I will have to have a look at it. Oh, on a side note, Zeno, last time I saw you, you were heading towards full body tattoo. How's the percentage on that going? You don't need to give details. I don't want to, hand out too much personal information, but I am very curious. If you were a weather forecast, what would you describe your percentage coverage? Percentage, you know what I meant. Alrighty. Oh, cool, cool. Interface 0 basically jack shadow and setting and made it on the Savage World. Okay, start again, wait a minute. Xenomorph, Interface 0 basically jack Shadowrun setting and made it on Savage World system. Is Interface 0 a different game setting, or is that the name of the company that does Savage World? So I keep looking at this on a different light. My apologies. I'm in the zone. I'm having a chat, and I keep forgetting that I'm meant to be on Flame and Screen. Very sorry about that. Hey Murray, why don't you run a stream for painting? Sure, but how about you keep the painting on camera? Let's try that, shall we? Yeah, good plan. Good plan, Chief. Okay, well, good news. The different purples are working very well together, and it's such a light color that any splash or overflow is going to blend in with the grey when I dry brush that, as well as any light grey that ends up on the purple is just going to highlight it further. So I think I'm winning. Put an X on my paint surface. Alright, fair enough. Let's have a look. 1X coming up. Pick your colour, Cinder. What colour should I X? Savage World is the base system, and then companies reskin it however they want. Ah! It's like, do you remember Rifts? Do you remember the Rifts game system, Zeno? Do you remember that? Because that was very similar. You could just reskin whatever. And what dice system is it? Is it D12, D20, D6? Is it a D10 system? Ah! Oh, alright, that's actually looking pretty good. You see, that highlight, that looks like a reflection line along there, is not really reflection. That's mainly the highlight from the dry brushing. That is going to look pretty sweet, I think, actually. The more I do with this purple, the more I'm liking where it's going. Actually, now that I know who you are, Zeno, I'm surprised you didn't go with Gene Stealer Colts for your 40k choice. I really am quite shocked. Okay. D4 through D12. Interesting dice choices. No D20, D12. That's a that's an unusually narrow. Really, it's a kind of a narrow scope for your chance there. But at the same time, it'll allow for some very focused rolls, some very focused skill sets and application of your dice rolls. It doesn't have your randomness of the D20 as much. Interesting. Oh, if you've got a friend playing Nids, then yeah, just go shoot his bugs in the face with your advanced bug sprayers. Hyper advanced bug spray. See, I was doing it again. I was over here painting. Not that anyone can see anything in this light, but yep, it's coming along okay. Coming along quite okay. Right, oh, that's right. Red X. Red X. Sorry, Cinder. Red X. Red X. Red X. Red X. Let's see. The best spot is around about here, apparently. If I'm painting around about here, so what about there? There we go. One nice big red X right there. Success in Savage Worlds is just rolling a 4 on any dice. 4 or higher or just a 4? That's very specific. I'm assuming 4 or higher. Red X just for Cinder. Cinder's red X. Yeah, that works. That's a good spot. Apart from the fact that fix that lighting a little bit there. Oh, don't bump it. No. Now I've made everything worse. Oh no, it's okay. Actually, no, I think I have made everything worse. What's going on there? Let me just... Ow. It's funny. When I'm testing this before I start streaming, it always looks a little bit better. And now I just obsess about it. It's really kind of bizarre. Da, da, da. Oh, that's bad. Whoop, cancel. Cancel. Try that again. Murray's gonna wreck it live. Okay. Ow. How does that look? Might look a little washed out, but I think it You can see the colours a fair bit better. How's that look, people? I think I'm a little happier with that. Yeah, it looks good, doesn't it? That looks better. I mean, you can. This guy looks great down there. At least you can see him. Yeah, pop. Yeah, that's better. Yeah. Thank you very much. And thank you very much. I do the worst. I mean, worst Elvis impersonation, right? Just terrible. Really shouldn't do it. And I know I shouldn't do it. But it also really upsets someone I know who's a major Elvis fan and does a very good impersonation. So I pretend to think that I do a great impersonation. And I think it's going to give him an aneurysm soon. And I think it's really bugging him badly. So, um, got to just try not to get in too much trouble. But I am entertaining myself by doing that. There you go. Tiny little unwarranted and unnecessary side story. And yes, 4 or higher, but getting bigger numbers has other effects. So getting the most over the target number is always good. All right. Well, I'm going to look into Savage. What's it called? Savage Worlds. I'm going to look into Savage Worlds. That sounds interesting to me. Oh no! Too much paint on the brush for dry brushing. And of course, I've gone and done that on the biggest part of the area that's most obvious. Damn it. Damn it, Zeno. Did you cheese sandwich at me? Totally blaming you now. No, that's just... Alright, doesn't matter, tough. Ugh, idiot. I've got this active on 2 screens. I wonder if I'm getting lag. Actually, Zeno, I was going to use Yondo very soon over the red Murray. The big red axe, you idiot. Anyway, I'm going to be reusing Yondo very soon, or at least the agents of Yondo. Very soon. In one of my games. I've decided he's going to be a villain. Not necessarily a villain, but most definitely not the friend of the heroes. And that should be a real issue for them to deal with, because he can literally will them to another part of the world if he so decides. Oh, he lives on. Oh, he lives on. Don't you worry. Everyone lives on. In fact, there are quite a few problems. Spirit Crab. Spirit Crab has not come back yet. Mind you, Spirit Crab... You know what? I'm going to pinch Spirit Crab from Shadowrun, and I'm going to transfer Spirit Crab to my Pathfinder world. Yes. I haven't played Shadowrun since I stopped playing with you, Cinder, so all that whole world's on hold since you guys since you guys just stopped playing. And I'm not blaming you. I could blame you, but I'm not. Because everyone just sort of stopped playing it at once. Okay. Well, that purple's looking pretty nifty. Oh, excuse me. Purple's looking pretty good. Do I push my luck and what time is it? Yeah. Do I push my luck and go for the... I'm going to go for the yellow. I'm going to dry brush the yellow. Got the wrong brush to do it. Yeah. Awesome. Now, since it's coming to wrap-up time, I'm wondering, what would you like me to do next week? Do you want me to do some more painting? I can keep working on these quite happily. Or I could start do another build. Now I'm out of unusual, or I'm out of new Titan stuff to build for now. I don't have anything else to build. What I do have is fairly impressive Orky Warboss model, 28mm, so 40k scale, right? I have a big Orky Warboss. I will definitely need to read the instructions once before I do that one, but it looks pretty neat, and I think you'll get a kick out of it. Yeah, it's either that or I keep painting. Or a bit of both. You know, I could build then paint. But that's one for one at the moment, people. That's one each. We have a paint and we have a build. Or shall I just do both? Like I'll do some building, then I go back to painting, then jump around again. That's a vote for both. That doesn't look too bad on the head. Now I'm wondering, do I really want to bright yellow it? Oh, let's find out. War boss, okay. I think we'll probably be heading in the direction of both at this rate. But yeah, the war boss is kind of amazing. I'm not going to give you a preview just because, well, I like to say because I want to save it a surprise, but actually it's all the way over the other side of the room. So that's the main reason it's a surprise. Oh, back over the X. That X is actually really helpful. Thank you, Cinder. Now, I don't know if that shows up as much any different, but that yellow head looks really neat now. Really, really happy with that, actually. That's looking neato kino. So next time I get to painting on this guy, it'll be the light greys. Getting the grey on everything. But just before wrap up, I will apply a wash to the whale shark. The whale shark is going to get the dunk. Yeah, there we go. And then I can start dry brushing next time I'm on. I can start working on the whale shark. The shark is the whales. Yeah. And that'll be fun too. Actually, the Orky 40k models are just getting better and better. The Warboss in particular, this Warboss I've picked up, is quite spectacular. And it's one of the few times I do not regret a full price from the store G-Dub purchase. Because it's just too good. There we go. And I'm generally one to find the bargain. I much prefer to get a discounted product. I'm not about to go and get a recast dodgy ass thing, because that's just, you know, that's just rude to me. You know, probably from doing all the, having worked in the creative industry and helped, you know, try to get people jobs in the creative industry. Recasts, whilst good if you're feeling like you don't want to spend too much on the hobby, it's the ultimate in copyright infringement as far as I'm concerned, because it's not just stealing a digital image, it's stealing a physical product. So some people disagree. They're allowed to disagree. That's up to them. I'm not telling them to stop it. I'm just saying that I'm not going to really support it. I mean, I did once or twice. I did a few times just because I was broke and I really wanted it. But now it's just like, yeah, nah, I won't be doing that again. Okay. Alrighty, alrighty. Bit more in the face. A little bit more on the underside, and then I'm going to have to let it dry before I can do the rest of the wings. Or the rear, anyway. But, once again, you hit it with a wash, all the details come flooding to the surface, including all the bits that you've missed. It's really irritating, so you have to go back and touch them up at some stage. But it's a good proof pass, so to speak. Proof pass is not again the right phrase. I am so bad at wording of late. I'm just terrible at it. Back in school. Yeah. Yeah, there's a big difference between the real deal, eh? And plus, despite the fact that, they're so much cheaper, you get them, you go, yep, and there's a reason. Wow, they feel cheaper, they look cheaper. They're just sometimes just unattractive. And you still had to pay money for them anyway. So, yeah. I don't know, I'm still fairly conflicted about it. The cheap side of me that wants to save money and get as much as I can goes, no, just do it. The other part of me is like, man, it's just not. You're hurting the industry you enjoy. Don't do it. Okay. There we go. The whale shark has had a wash. And is all ready for dry brushing next time. I think I'm getting a cold. Which means I'm going to have to finally go and... I should go get my mask for the train. Oh, great. Yeah, that's good. Okay, I just realised I've splattered wash all over my work desk. Oh well, tough. I have to just tidy. That's a problem for later. But there is a very shiny washed whale shark. That shouldn't take too much more work to finish off, which is excellent. And yes, and speaking of excellent, you have all been excellent. Thank you for your company, as usual. Very helpful, insightful, and chatty tonight. Thank you for the chats. It's been great. I've really enjoyed it tonight. It's been some good fun. And, yep, quack. Thank you, Council of Ducks, for your input and assistance. And as usual, I hope you have a really good evening, or the rest of the evening, and the rest of your week goes even better. Thanks again for joining me. Hope you have a good time with hobby and all the other sorts of entertainment this week, and that you make it to the end of the week okay. So, thank you once again. Hope you've had a good one, and I will catch you next week. Alrighty? Alrighty. You guys take care, and I'll see you next time.